Hello guys, welcome to TongueFungus. We are your hosts, Matt and
Niko.
Niko, what are we doing today?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I thought you had it figured out.
I told you to figure out a topic last night.
What is this? We are supposed to figure something out.
Listen, I'm trying to delegate these jobs.
What are you talking? Okay, did you have something figured out? I honestly don't know.
If I had something figured out, I wanted to ask you to figure something out last night.
I thought you would have told me that. I honestly don't have anything. I don't know what we're talking about today. This is tongue talk?
This is tongue
We're doing
talk.
tongue talk?
We're doing tongue talk, Dave?
Why are you bringing me on this? I'm just here for the ride.
I could have sworn we're doing tongue talk.
Yes.
Right now?
Niko, yes. Anyway, guys, this is our guest right here. His name is Tony. He's like, I don't know, he considers internet TV. I was like, dude, you're not going to be on TV.
It's all entertainment.
You're going to be on the internet. He's like, it's the same thing.
I'll tell you why, my daughters last night, you know, they were excited when they heard I was interviewed. I felt like a star last night. They were like, oh God, you're going to be on YouTube. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, you're going to be on there. Mad people are going to see you.
That's what I'm saying. YouTube's where it's at, man. So I consider it all entertainment, man. And he's tell Matt, don't undersell yourself, man. This is good stuff right here, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Matt.
We'll figure it out. We'll just go. Listen, today's subject is we don't know what we're going to talk about. We're just going to wing it.
I mean, we can always talk about video game deaths and stuff like that, like video games and everything.
Why did you say that when we first started asking what we're going to talk about?
I said I was here for the ride. Don't yell at your cameraman.
You're a camera. That's a camera.
You're being very unpatriotic.
I'm not being. Don't laugh.
Alright, so you know what? That sounds like a good idea. We're going to talk about worst deaths. I haven't played many video games. I mean, I played video games, but I haven't finished a lot. So, let's. I guess we'll just jump back and forth with the. So, what is the worst boss fight or worst death?
Take up the first one.
Oh, sure. You know, I was just thinking about how about Resident Evil, man. The Resident Evil 5 is a pretty tough one, man.
Oh,
I remember going through that about 25 to 30 times before I finally got it right.
And you would think a man that can manhandle a boulder would not have that hard of a time fighting a dude that's mutated. Like, he literally, like, he Rockied the boulder. He was like, you never remember?
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. If you haven't played Resident Evil 5 and we're in 2017, you know.
Maybe you don't deserve. I mean,
don't watch this video.
You know, I'm not saying
watch
don't
the
watch
video.
the. I'm not saying don't watch the video, but what I'm saying is, if you haven't played Resident Evil 5 like me, in 2017, and he just gave the spoiler alert. Obviously, that's not in your nearest insight. To play Resident Evil 5 means that Resident Evil 7 came out and it's freaking awesome.
It is awesome.
And everybody's on that right now. So, I mean, I'd be playing Resident Evil 7. I really don't care for 5. I mean, I never played 5. So
5's one of the best ones.
I like.
Which one is 5? Is 5 where you get to jump from stories between?
No, that's 6.
That's 6.
The one in Africa.
In my opinion.
That's the one with Chris in Africa.
That's 6.
That's 5.
That's 5.
That's 5. The one in Africa where they be chasing you around with blowhorns. They're like,
Yeah.
Alright.
So
I watched you play 5.
Yeah, you have. I think the worst boss fight for me, Sonic 2.
Yes.
The last boss fight.
Yes.
When you're on the
ship. It's like
the death egg.
There you go. Yeah.
And he's in like his armor suit. He's like this. He's like ding, ding, ding.
Absolutely.
And like you can't hit him until he like bends down to fart at you or something. You have no rings, nothing.
And we're talking about the age of Game Genie, man, where
Exactly.
it's so easy to just jump to that level, but
and even if you did
it's
jump
so
to that
hard
level,
to beat it anyway.
Y'all make fun of me for this, but in Yoshi World,
Yoshi's Island, you mean?
Yeah, where he's carrying the baby on his
he's got
back,
a
baby Mario on his back.
yeah.
Right.
That whole game was hard.
Yeah, very.
It was hard, but the worst thing was for me was I don't know what they're called. The ghosts that can't look at Mario.
Boos?
Boos, right. There was a big giant boo and I'm in this little room and it's following me around and I can't fight it because it was there. So I later found out you have to ricochet the eggs off of the wall to hit them, you know, with your back turn against them. That was difficult. It wasn't even difficult. It was just frustrating. It was frustrating. I was like, I don't know, how do you fight it? Like I never, even when I was playing as Mario.
Well, you figured it out.
How do you fight the boos?
That's a funny thing you say that because even to this day, I think I have every star in Super Mario 64 except for Boo's Haunted House. I think I'm missing one. So it's funny you say that. So
you still have 64?
I have an emulator.
Yeah.
I play on my phone.
On your computer?
Yeah, on the computer. I have it on my phone actually.
Oh man,
I'm driving out of some 64.
I can show you how to do it later.
For my,
Simple.
Yeah.
It's real simple.
Yeah. You can have it on your phone there.
Because I want to play Kid Chameleon. That's why I want an emulator. So
I want to play Banjo-Kazooie, man.
Oh yeah, that's hot. And Rayman.
Yeah, Rayman.
That's one.
And they still make Rayman to this day.
And talking Kid Chameleon, that's another boss fight at the end. It's ridiculous. There's about 3,000 levels to that game, but no matter what path you take, and it's still hard to beat the game at the end. You know. Remember it was like a big bald-headed dude.
Yeah.
Where his eyes popped out, Google got everywhere. It was crazy. It was crazy. That's what he did when he died.
Abe's Odyssey. I used to love that
Great game.
That's with the slave John.
Yeah,
the slave aliens.
Yeah.
And they
every time they see you,
they light you up. They light you up.
Amazing.
You're like, and you just lay out like.
It kind of reminded me of Lemmings. I don't know if you ever played Lemmings. So I think I asked you that before if you played Lemmings. It's another tough game. It's like a puzzle game where you have these little creatures following you. And you had to get them through the level without dying.
No, I never.
Is it like Pikmin?
It is very
it's like Pikmin.
It is
yeah,
like
I used to
Pikmin.
love Pikmin.
But I remember playing this on 64. But Pikmin is a good game.
You know, speaking of Resident Evil too. Speaking of Resident Evil, has anyone ever played the game Home?
No.
I played it on an emulator at a friend's house once, and the entire first Resident Evil game is based off a movie too called Home, or Sweet Home. Sweet Home. And for its time, that game was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
For its time. You know, like Clock Tower. Who remembers Clock Tower?
I was just going to bring that up.
Scissorman?
You had to hide. The whole concept of the game was just hiding.
It's kind of like that new game, Amnesia. The Dark Descent.
There's so many different amnesias.
Fatal Frame. That's another one, man. Fatal Frame.
I hated Fatal Frame,
yeah, that's
man.
a scary.
My dad used to play a game. I used to watch him play. It was really cool. It was like different from anything that I've ever seen. Basically, you're a girl and you run through these rooms, and then
Oh, you gave me that game.
and they chase after you, but you set traps.
Yeah.
In the rooms.
What
like
was the name of the game? She wore like a white dress,
Yeah,
like blonde hair. Yeah, you gave me that game.
I forget what game it was, man, but it was awesome. Dude.
Yeah, the whole point of it was that you got to set traps for them. And
That's cool.
it was cool. It just kind of frustrated me. It was like you didn't know where to put. Sometimes you couldn't put strategy. Exactly.
Almost like Portal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Portal was good.
Yeah, very good.
Portal was good.
I never played that.
There's in Fallout, there's actually a gun that's dedicated, like for Portal, you shoot it, you can go from one end of the Commonwealth to the next.
Oh, cool.
The Portal gun, just think about that. It's like, yeah.
You had an open mind to that. I think about that.
I love that this became like frustrating deaths into nostalgic video game talk.
It took
Because
a
if you
hard
talk
turn.
about the thing about video games, if you start talking about your frustrating deaths in the game,
You're gonna get to
you're
your
gonna
favorite.
get frustrated.
You
Yeah,
would.
you know.
I can't tell you how many times, man. The worst is when you got this much life left on any fighting game on the guy you're fighting, you know? He just comes back with like a 40-hit combo and kills you. He had this much life left.
Like if you think about
That's pretty
games,
frustrating.
it is. You think about games like, for instance, like Kingdom Hearts, like we were talking about earlier, and the very first Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth.
Yeah.
You got him on his last leg. You're like, I'm gonna hit him, Sephiroth. And he just like backhand with the sword. You're like, ah. And the way Sora dies, it's like he just lays in midair. Like he just gave up.
Yeah, that's it.
And his heart's out of his body. It's like I retried it like 90 times, man.
Completely contemplating his life choices at that point.
Yeah, like I really don't want to be here.
Or in Sky.
Even in 7, Sephiroth was just like annoying.
The thing about Final Fantasy 7 that I didn't know till like a few years back is that there's a way to get Sephiroth to like be mad. At the time, he was the strongest boss in any Final Fantasy game. If you beat all the weapons, you get all the ultimate weapons, you get everybody to level 99, and you get all the magic materials to the ultimate whatever, and you kill Jehovah Synthesis with Knights of the Round Table, but you don't kill the top of his head during Bizarro, you'll get him up to like almost 500,000 HP.
Now seven's the one with Cloud in it.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Crisis Core came out, which was like a prequel to Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And you play as him, and that. Remember, I played it in Mr. Jelly's class that day, and you were laughing as he turned his head around like a model, and that song started playing. And he's like pointing at his chest and stuff. That was that one. He got blazed up, and he got lit up. Take it. He did. Oh yeah, in the PS1 version. That's because at the time they couldn't make it all dramatic because the way the graphics were back then.
That's what I never understood. With any Final Fantasy game, it was actual graphics for the gameplay compared to the actual movie scenes. Well, like the movie scene graphics were ahead of its time.
If you look at the ones now, like from let's say 10 up, yeah, 10 had more, I guess you would say, polished graphics at times, but the game stayed the same with the graphics. For instance, when 7 came out, the game was rushed. They had to make it quickly. So at the same time, you got to understand all the time that goes into making the game look like that. You know, you're going to have to try to find a way, because at the time that was with the 16-bit, 32-bit.
That game's like an art form.
Around 32.
It was like the 32-bit era. So at the time, you got to have the game in 32 bits, but at the same time, make it all, because when I was 7 years old playing that game, and I saw when Cloud put Aerith in the water, I was like, wow, these graphics are stupid good, man. Gorgeous.
They've been doing a good job of remaking some of these older games.
And I'm getting tired of them remaking these games. It's like, and then they're doing the thing where they're remaking 7, but they're doing a season pass. Where it's like, you buy the game, you play the first part when you're in Midgar and you got to make it to the train, and then bam, it's over, and then you got to buy the rest. No, I'm not doing that. Because back in 1997,
you bought the game, you bought the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you buy the game, and they put the whole thing on 3 discs.
Right.
And nowadays, we got Blu-ray, HD. You mean something you can't get that whole story on 1 disc? It's all the money makers.
And that's what I've been saying to you before, though. Like, where even with the games nowadays, the storylines are stupid short. You know what I mean? And they make up for it with downloadable content, with like more things that you can buy. You know what I mean? Instead of back in the day, you could play a game and it'll last you a while. Get your money's worth for the game.
But this man, Hideo Kojima, could be honestly considered like the Godfather of the game. Not saying that that's everybody's opinion. My opinion is he's one of the Godfathers of video games. I mean, he made the Metal Gear Solid series. If you look at Metal Gear Solid, the game is so fundamental to games nowadays. It's like you can't walk up to somebody and play. You can, but you can't walk up to most people and be like, "You ever heard Metal Gear Solid?" And they go, "No."
I think about Metal Gear Solid, and before I even touched a Metal Gear Solid game, everything was so fast-paced.
Yeah.
Like Sonic and...
It was all platform games.
Streets of Rage. Yeah, platform was where it was at. But
that's the game I was telling you about.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage.
Yeah. They drop hands.
Yeah.
I still have the cartridge for my
still have
Sega.
it?
It was a 6-pack. It came with 6 different games in one. Street Rage, Golden Axe, and one was like the Bejeweled game or whatever.
Golden Axe is like one of the first RPGs.
Golden Axe 2 is still one of my favorite games. So this.
Anybody remember the first Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah. It was Sky.
It was Sky. Like, if you mess with one mission, you go into the hideout, and they just mess you up.
And it was like the first and second one were just like that. And then when 3 came out, it was like a total change, and that's when Grand Theft Auto was actually
on the map. Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of the most realistic.
And you know what? And you was telling me the online gameplay on that is literally like you're living your own lives. Like you can watch like people on the game are out selfieing. Like you can selfie on the game. You can filter on the jaw and do duck face, whatever.
I'm telling Matt here that I stole a bike off a group of people on Grand Theft Auto Online, and they literally band together and chased me to the beach. There was only 10 people in the room. They all seemed to be together like some kind of Sons of Anarchy. I burnt their bike and I swam to the nearest island and I saw them all.
You swam there?
I swam to the island.
With the bike?
No, I left their bike on the beach. I burnt it. And then I swam to the island and I looked back and they're all pulling up on their bikes to the burning pile of metal.
You see,
it was amazing. It was amazing because they were all like, "You ruined my bike. I put $1,000 in the new tires."
How long does it take to make $1,000 in that game?
It must have been really hard for him.
I'm thinking you just walk up to the closest rich looking guy. Bam!
That has to go up there. We talk about frustrating deaths in Grand Theft Auto. It literally runs with an insurance system. So when someone trashes your bike or anything, you got to wait a certain amount of days in order to go through your insurance company to
serious?
get your bike
You
back.
get insurance companies in this game?
Yeah, man, it's insane.
I will never leave. This is why I can't play that game. I won't leave home.
So
It's
people,
like, yo, I gotta go to work.
It's cutthroat. People will
Like,
kill
you're working
you.
at no one Grand Theft Auto.
It's crazy.
But you see, this is the reason why it's a blessing that things like Pokemon aren't real. Like that. Like, you really think in the real world, just using this as an example, like, look at, in the game, he did these people dirty, and he swam through an island. You know what I mean? But like in real life, like, you know, inside the Pokemon show, they're like, "Oh, you got a Charmander."
You know what's interesting though?
What?
You know how they have Pokemon Go, Grand Theft Auto Go.
Absolutely, I was thinking of that.
I think you just sold an idea.
And now he was telling me, and I see, I'm gonna give him full props because we work together, guys.
So
we work together at Carmen's. He
He
was telling me a Walking Dead Go.
Yeah, where you snap things, you gotta search for supplies, and things are lying around. Like those
Kill zombies right on the spot, dog.
man,
That'd be hot.
That's
I'm trying to save up for a PS4.
I just got my PS4.
Yeah, they say that the lifespan on these systems are about 10 years, so that's crazy. They're already coming out with a
That's what
PS5
I'm saying.
spec.
Because they're like, you read up on the article, they're like, but don't get excited.
I'm excited for Fallout 4 with the virtual. I don't have the system set up for it, but it
You're
makes me
getting
want to
that
go
too?
out to go. Yeah, it's going to be on the VR. I mean,
I picked up the PSVR.
Yeah.
I was going to let Matt play Resident Evil 7 on it.
No.
Absolutely.
was
That
pretty
reminds
nice
me of
acting
Demolition Man when he puts the helmet on it.
He was
Oh,
watching
yeah,
the
Sandra Bullock said, "Oh no!" And she's like, and he's like,
the Wild Mama or the
Yeah,
Unca Chunka?
she goes, "Why did you stop?" He's like, "I didn't even touch it." It's like, "I didn't even touch it."
She got on to list all these STDs from the future that nobody even knows about.
Yeah.
After HIV, there was PPP.
Yeah.
MTCD.
And he's like, "Come again?" He's like, "What about like sensual, you know, physical contact?" She's like, "Ew, you mean like one-on-one intercourse?" He doesn't know what the 3 seashells are.
He's laughing, snickering in the back. Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, back in their day, they used
man.
handheld paper to wipe themselves. I remember thinking, like, who puts a seashell on themselves? Like, how would you even fit that in there, you know?
I'm trying to figure that out even 25, 30 years after the movie was made.
I'll show you.
It's more of a scrape. It's a scraping. It's
I understand that, but look at the size of the seashell. Your butt crack's only but so big, you know? So you're gonna spread it all over yourself.
No. You scrape one half of the cheek, and then
You didn't try this, did you?
no.
Okay, I just
There
want
was one time I had a little emergency on the beach at Wildwood. Okay.
You did like one of the cats, or the dogs on the floor. You just like drag yourself on the stand.
No. What I did was, and I'll keep it real with you. All right. I went under the boardwalk. Under the boardwalk. I'm not gonna take a smash in the sea.
Was this
messed up?
in the sea?
Yeah. I'm not taking a smash in the sea. But the day before, I had the spiciest meal ever.
Okay.
Ever. I don't even remember what it was,
Like
man.
jalapenos,
But I felt-
pepper,
listen.
chili powder.
I'm out there. I'm building a sand castle. You know what I mean? With the fan. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, I get bubble guts in my gut. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh.
That's when you know you're
Right.
really.
And we're out. We're not nowhere near. Like all the businesses were like shut down. It wasn't on season time, so there was no restrooms. So I straight went under the boardwalk. I took a smash under the boardwalk. And do you care to know how I wiped?
I'm curious right now.
I dipped my booty in the sea. That's what I did.
I was close. That's the seaweed.
I went waist deep into the water, and I was like.
Well, either way, you still got.
I know, but at least I'm not doing whole solid pieces.
Yeah, but
of
some
I gotta say
some of the kids probably running around the boardwalk.
I gotta say something. He told us.
You know what it is? He's probably got that thought in his mind that someone's on a canoe.
Well, 'cause I had a bad experience.
right when it passes by.
I had
one piece.
I had a bad experience. Listen, I had a bad experience. I was young, all right? Our family, every year, we used to go to this place called Belmar's Lake. Okay, it was a lake, all right, around it. There was an arcade. There was a mini golf course, a place to get food. There was little, like, barbecue spots that you could just, you know, set up your joint. I was swimming in the water. All right. At this time, they just started coming out with candy bars with M&Ms and stuff on top of that joint. Now,
I don't want to. Oh, I know the story.
all right, you know the story. All right, so I'm a little fat. I'm a little fat kid. I'm swimming. This joint looked like a candy bar floating on top of the joint. It had M&Ms popping out that joint. Like, it had M&Ms popping out that joint. And I swam up to it. I was like, I picked it up. And then it just melted. It like slid out my hand. But it was still solid. And I was like, I tried, listen, I tried swimming away, dog. I tried swimming away. It followed me. It followed. I was like, no!
The part that followed Stimpy.
You know what I understand though? Oh man, that was a lake, right?
Yeah.
Belmore, you said?
Belmore Lake.
Never go fishing there.
Yeah. I picked it up because it had M&Ms on the joint.
Yeah,
like,
but what kind of M&Ms do you eat that won't melt in your body?
I don't know.
Yeah, like that's not an M&M at
I
that
saw
point.
the candy.
That's like a solid piece of metal.
That dude swallowed those M&Ms
and just went off.
All I saw
that was a premeditated crap.
Candy coat. Like all I saw was candy coat.
It was all
like a rainbow brown.
Yeah, exactly.
They're my favorite kind.
And then,
did you not smell it on the way to you?
No, because the water, it smelled like lake. I was like, and then I picked it up and I smoked my hand. And I was like, ah! And then I tried swimming it away. It followed me. I was like, no! I was backpedaling. I was like,
it was meant to. Somebody premeditated. Somebody probably literally went to the bathroom and just started sticking M&Ms in there. And was like, there's gonna be some fat kid that's gonna want to eat this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. When I was looking, I don't know if I would have grabbed it. But I'm like, oh no. A lake? Now that's messed up. You know, like that's messed. Like that's a closed off area.
That's contained.
Like that thing is gonna be there for a while. You know what I mean?
That's called ground zero.
Yeah. With the ocean, at least some kind of fish is gonna be like, you know what? I ain't gotta be proud of myself right now. You know. But with a lake, like I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry that happened.
Well, that's probably the reason why I ain't just lay a turd right there in the sea.
But you wiped yourself in the sea.
I did.
No matter what, it's there.
I know, but at least I ain't laying whole chunk of turds.
But you laid it on the sand. Like other people walk there.
Under the boardwalk, and I buried it.
There's a song made for being under a boardwalk, Matt.
You're supposed to let it out with the tide.
Exactly.
Speaking of M&Ms, so Tony, he takes great pride in himself. We do tips. He's able to guesstimate how much tips we got just by like how many rolls and stuff. He always said, take me to the carnival and I'll be able to guesstimate how many jelly beans are in the jar, how many whatever. So I got a game for you, Tony. Okay? I need you to guesstimate.
Oh, it's M&Ms.
How many how many M&Ms are in this? Now you can hold it, you can move it around. Don't be going like, don't be doing that. But I want you to just check that out.
Watch the lid because I see it shaking every so often.
You got it. What was shaking?
85.
85? Now, alright, real quick. We're gonna give him a range. Now, is 10 okay? If he's within 10 or below 10?
You mean if he's within, if it's 85, if he's within like 90 or something like that?
Right, if it's 80.
Gotcha.
Would that be cool? You think that's satisfying?
Say 80 and 90. You go between 80 and 90.
Yeah, I think he's like, I think he's pretty close.
85?
Yeah.
The highest would be 95.
The highest would be 90. I'm confident.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to say 90.
Okay. Anybody else got any?
I have no objections to that.
No. What
I'm estimating it?
Yeah. But I got a prize for this.
98.2.
98.2.
There's only he big one to put it back. Yeah.
There's just a peanut in there, probably.
Yeah, that's
candy. I would say about 90.
90.
Yeah.
So
do you know the exact number?
I do, so I can guess. Okay. But it's within 10, okay? And what was your guess?
98.2.
98.2. I don't know how you get the point.
You bit one and put it back.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess nobody won this. You guys want to re-guess?
Yeah, I don't think it's close to 90.
You're close. You're the closest, but you're off.
Up or down?
It's higher.
So I'm thinking maybe.
How is he the closest?
I'm honestly thinking maybe 105.
Matt, how is he the closest if I put 98.2 and he said 90?
Oh, I thought. You know what? It would be. You're right. You would be the closest, but it's higher.
So I'm thinking 110.
I was about to say that too.
You know what me and Dave were gonna say 110. We'll split it.
110. What about you?
I'll say 105.
You ready for this?
put it in an envelope.
It's 151, guys. So
That's pretty.
that ain't. Yes. I guess you're skilled at.
We're not gonna eat this whole. We're gonna split this up.
Well, no. Well, you save some for Sasha because she likes.
Yeah, of course. There's 151 in there.
Okay, yeah, there is, and whoever was gonna, here, just take this as just for coming to TongueFungus. Thank you for coming to TongueFungus.
Awesome.
That's a $27 gift card to Spencer's. I know it's an odd number. I know it's an odd number.
That's amazing.
My dad gave it to me. I never used it. So
you didn't have to publicly announce that it's a re-gift.
I'm gonna give you some of that. Listen, from the heart.
I agree, man.
That's for you, bro.
I really do.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, no problem, man. I enjoy myself always.
Thank you guys very much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like, share, and
subscribe.
Please hit the little notification bell right next to the subscribe button to be updated to all our new videos. And if you have any embarrassing stories, or if you want to share the most frustrating game deaths that you ever experienced, please leave it in our comments below.
Don't make it sound like you guys are that good at gamers. We all have frustrations.
Also, we'll leave links to Amazon things and whatnot. Click the link to pay us. That'd be great. All right, you guys have a very nice day. Goodbye.
Bye.